Hi, Facebook and Instagram friends. I just made a video for you and I'm going to show it to you in just a moment, but I just wanted to ask you to please watch it. It's about my passion project, Thea the Bus, that I am so excited about. I'm going to be, or in the video, I explain, first of all, why this passion project is so important, and secondly, why I am the right person to go on this 9-month journey around the United States. So, if you will please watch it, I want to say thank you by having a drawing, one on Facebook, one on Instagram, for a $200 gift certificate. And this is for any of the services I currently offer and something I'm going to be adding next week. So you can use it for yourself, or if you want to, you can gift it to a friend. All you need to do is watch the video and make a comment. It can be as simple as a smiley face or a hi Shannon or something more elaborate is fine as well. I'm open to any suggestions, ideas, comments are great as well. But that's all you need to do. Watch the video, make a comment to let me know that you've watched it, and know that I am so grateful and excited to share this passion project, Thea the Bus, with you. So thanks a lot. I will be drawing names. Let's see, what should I do? How about on Wednesday? What is Wednesday? I should know the date. Next week, Wednesday. Oh, so thank you for watching it. I really appreciate it. Have a really great day. Here is the video. Hi, in case we haven't met, my name is Shannon Ulhart. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am going to explain a passion project I'm working on called Thea the Bus, and what I'm going to be doing, why it's so important, and why I'm the right person for this passion project. I'm also, admittedly, even though it's really uncomfortable for me, going to be asking for your support. Your support could be cheering me on, and I'll tell you where you can go to follow along in this passion project. Or if you're able to contribute financially, I appreciate that as well. But regardless, I'm really excited to tell you what I'm up to. So in September 2020, I'm going to be leaving on a 9-month trip around the United States of America doing my work, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. Now, I'm going to be doing that in a school bus that is converted into a schoolie, or like an RV within the school bus. And her name is Thea the Bus. Thea means fresh start, morning, newness, new beginning. Aletheia means to heal or to be healed. And so, as you'll see when I explain my work, perfect name I settled on was Thea. So in this video, I want to explain two things. First of all, why my travels in Thea the Bus are so important, and why I am the person to do these travels. So let me start by why it is so important. First of all, I have a key message that I believe in to the depth of my heart that is so important that gets out into the world. And that message is that there is an alternative to healing emotional pain. There is the traditional talk therapy, which there's nothing wrong with that. However, what I have found in working with individuals from the age of 5 to 78 years old is that that is very often not the best path for someone. They don't need to talk and talk about the pain that they've experienced, or the thought that they have to talk about it keeps them from doing so, which keeps them suffering. So I have created not only an alternative to therapy, but even more importantly, a pre-therapy evaluation that's free for anybody to do. It will be back on my website soon. I am currently revamping it, and I would love for you to take it if you're interested. But what it does, it's just so important, is it helps people get a bird's eye view of their whole life experience, primarily the times that they've suffered, which might sound like a terrible thing to look at, but those are the most important times, because when we're holding on to that suffering because we haven't healed it, that's why we're not as happy or successful or fulfilled as we want to be. And learning how learning about that big picture, that bird's eye view, is so important, because you start to see how different painful experiences tie together and overlap, and how healing one thing is going to help you heal another thing. So not only is it very motivating and encouraging to get involved in your own personal healing work, but it also lets you know how much happier you can be. Those times of pain and suffering are actually the most important times in our life, because that's when we learn and grow. So I help people to understand that. And I know that is such an important message, especially at this time in our country. Also, while I'm traveling on Thea the Bus, I'm going to be speaking to groups on 3 different topics, and this is free. I'll be going to any kind of organization that will welcome me in, and I'll be speaking about forgiveness and how healing the work of forgiveness is. Sadly, most of us aren't taught how to forgive, but I will be teaching that and helping people understand the power of forgiveness. I will also be teaching about or speaking about why we suffer. Why is it that we go through these terribly difficult times in life? The third topic is specific to school systems, and I will be speaking about adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs. So I'll quickly give you some research is about the ACEs. They've been researching these for decades. And so if you go back to maybe the 60s, people would have maybe one adverse child experience. An example of that would be experiencing some kind of child abuse or child neglect, neglect or abuse as a child, I should say. Maybe the experience of having a family member incarcerated, parents divorcing, witnessing violence, having a family member struggle with addiction. Now, fast forward to now 2019, and we are finding children who have more and more of these adverse childhood experiences. Now, the thing is, once someone reaches 4 of these experiences, that's the tipping point. That's when research shows that as adults, those people are prone to having many more negative ramifications from those experiences, including addiction themselves, severe depression, even financial ramifications. So, when we can start helping kids do that healing and experience fewer of those adverse childhood experiences, that's important. But I see something being even more or equally important, and that's helping the adults, the parents of these children, understand their own adverse childhood experiences and motivating them to heal those. Because even if we do all we can within a school system to help these kids, they're still going home to parents who haven't been helped. So I'll be speaking to schools. The other thing or to families, parents in school systems. The other thing I'll be doing is providing or offering workshops. The first workshop is about taking the first step to healing emotional pain. The other workshop is about self-love and emotional intelligence. The other thing I will be doing is holding, this is one of my favorites, is holding healing conversations. So I started doing this years ago, and I have found just profound experiences with individuals. I have invited them into my home and had these healing conversations in other locations as well. And what we do is we gather as a group of pretty much strangers, and I have a process of creating a very safe environment where people slowly open up to sharing their own stories of suffering. What happens is actually just beautiful. The first time I did this, the people left my house and I sat down and cried because I was so blown away by the level of vulnerable honesty that the individuals shared, and the level of compassion that was shared among everybody. To me, what I then witness is that people grow in the connection among people. We start to feel more connected with others, but we also start feeling more compassion among us. And I'm sure you'll agree we could use more compassion and connection in the world. So I'll be having those healing conversations on Thea the Bus. If the group is small enough, I'll be able to fit about 8 people. Or if we have more people than that, we can go into a facility where I can have a larger healing conversation or healing circle. The other thing I'll do and offer is individual work, which I do a variety of things with individuals if they're interested in working with me. I think I just said that as well, but I'm going to emphasize again that you probably realize there's a lot of hurting people in the world. There's a lot of people who are suffering, who've been through really difficult times, but who haven't healed. And when we are in that place of pain, it's not possible that we live our best lives, that we are as happy and fulfilled and successful as we can be. Our relationships aren't nearly as healthy as they could be. So by helping more people heal, that ripple effect and having more healed people in our country is going to be a benefit to everybody. Now, clearly, I can't, well, you don't know that, but I can't afford to fly to all these different cities. Say go to one city for a week and do my speaking engagements and come back, and then fly to another city and get a hotel and come back. So what Thea the Bus is going to allow me to do is go on 9 months of just traveling around. It will be very well planned, heading up through the UP of Michigan because I live in Michigan, and then across over to Oregon, and then down the coast and kind of zigzagging back, and then down along the southern states as well for those 9 months. I'm already lining up places where I'm going to be speaking. And even individuals that I'm going to be speaking with and having joint workshops with. So my goal is to reach as many people as I can in those 9 months. I want to give you a quick example of the evaluation so you can see the power of that. And again, this evaluation is free. It'll be on my website once I finalize the modifications, but it will be encouraged anytime I speak. It'll be part of workshops, the healing conversations, just everyone I'm speaking to. I'm going to be encouraging them, including you, to complete the evaluation and see what you learn about your bird's eye view. So, for example, I was working with a lovely lady a couple of years ago who came to me. She was really struggling with a very dramatic divorce that she was in pain over. And so she came to me wanting to heal from the divorce, understandably. And so she told me a bit about that. And then I said, why don't you please complete this pre-therapy evaluation. And she did so, and she came back. And the beautiful part of that is she didn't need to tell me all her stories. She could just tell me what she found. So what she found, which was so significant, was that when she was a young girl, very young girl, she had a very traumatic experience of sexual violence. Now, she did end up telling me the whole story, but she didn't have to do that. But what I realized in her sharing her bird's eye view of this pre-therapy evaluation was that although she wanted to heal from the divorce, which was significant and painful, what she needed to heal first was this childhood experience of sexual violence. When she did that, she realized how much that experience, even though it had been decades previous, had affected her identity of her sexuality, her how she communicated with her husband, her self-esteem, her lack of confidence, her need to control things, which had a negative impact on the relationship. Not that the divorce was all her fault, but she was able to see it in a healthier way of how that had come to how the divorce had come to happen. So while she healed the childhood experience, she learned more about how that childhood experience had affected her relationship with her husband and was better and easier. It was easier for her to heal from that divorce as well. In the end, she told me it's just like she's a brand new person. And to me, she's always been there, that wonderful person that she is. We just had to get all that yucky stuff, that painful experience away from her. Now, sometimes people come to me or I'm speaking and they won't know why, but they just know they're really unhappy. And that pre-therapy evaluation helps them understand why, but it also, which is even equally as important, helps them understand how they can get started with their own healing process. That's what's so beautiful about that pre-therapy evaluation, which I am ready to spread far and wide. Now I want to quickly tell you why me. Why is Shannon Elhart the person for this project, for this 9-month journey? So I'm going to save the most important for last, but really simply, I'm happily willing to take 9 months away from my typical life, where my home, my friends and family who are nearby, the doctors I visit, and the grocery store I shop at, and I'm happily willing to take 9 months away from that life and go on this journey around the country. And I'm going to work hard. I will be putting in at least 40 hours a week with everything that I've just explained. Also, I can do this. Starting next fall, I will be able to, because of my lifestyle, the age of my children, and some other circumstances, I will be able to do so. I even have someone ready to rent my home. Another wonderful thing is I am so blessed to have amazing connections really all across the world, but especially around the United States because of my work. So I'm connected with beautiful, amazing people who do healing work, who do therapy, who work with specific populations, who just do a wide variety of methodologies that help people heal. So knowing that I am not the answer for everybody who's in pain, of course, that people can do the pre-therapy evaluation and I can send them, refer them to people who can help them get started or even complete their journey of healing as well. Furthermore, as it's already coming together, I'm already setting up places where I'm going to go and stay in different cities for a week, places where I'm going to speak, schools where I'm going to speak, places where I can hold workshops, and even some combined workshops with some of these healers and people who do just beautiful work in the world, where we're going to get together and provide a workshop as a team. So there's lots of wonderful things coming up about from those professional connections. So, the most important thing is about my life journey and my personality. So, first of all, in my life journey, I have been through some significantly painful experiences in my life. And I'm not telling you that for you to feel sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for me. Um, some of these have, well, they've all really taken me down to my knees, but they've all made me a better person, a more resilient woman, a more compassionate individual. Um, I really love who I am, and much of that is because of what I've experienced. So, I have experienced sexual violence when I was 18. I experienced the death of my second child the day after he was born. So, really painful pregnancy and deep grief. I experienced an incredibly difficult divorce, far more difficult than I ever would have guessed, um, and struggle with addiction. I am an alcoholic. Really proud to have been sober for over 8 years now. Really proud of myself for that. And the most significant thing that I've healed is this lifelong belief that I had that I was not worthy, that I was not good enough, which kind of wove in through all those other things I mentioned. So, because I've had these experiences, I believe almost anybody can relate to me, at least in one of those stories, because I know you've suffered, and most likely you haven't just suffered in one life experience. So, one of my favorite compliments I receive from people, or my favorite compliment that I receive, is when people come up to me after we spend some time together, whether I'm up on stage speaking or in a small group, and they say, I feel so comfortable with you. I feel safe. I feel like you really care and you give me hope. That just thrills me to the moon and back. So I love that. I bring that to people, and I'm excited to do that all across the country as much as I can. But even more importantly, and which you've probably already caught on to, is my personality. I am very open. I am very comfortable with being vulnerably honest about my experiences. I go far more in depth with into the experiences that I've shared with you just quickly now. And because I'm able to do that, I'm able to build those connections with people really easily and to encourage them and get them going on their own journey of healing. Aside of that, the variety of pain and people relating to me and being very open, I again, I have that pre-therapy evaluation, an alternative to therapy, and so many connections with people who do healing work. That is also a reason why I'm the person for this passion project. Um, so I think that summarizes it all. I want you to know that I'm going to be explaining each of those things, like what I'm going to be speaking about, and going a little more in depth into like the healing conversations and ACEs and what I'm going to be doing at schools in separate videos. And if you want to follow along, I'd be just so honored if you would just go to Facebook. Soon I'll be on Instagram too, but both of those pages will be, and Facebook is currently just called Thea the Bus, THEA the Bus. So you can just follow along there, and I'll be updating with videos. And once I get the bus, I have some people, who I'm thankful for, are going to help me do all the demo work. That's the most intimidating thing. But then I'm welcoming people to help me, put in the wood floors and help me to build the couch. And I'm going to be doing as much of the work as I can on my own and welcoming help. So you can follow along in that journey. And as I mentioned at the beginning, which is really uncomfortable for me to do, but if you're able to support me, cheering me on is so great. I love that and I appreciate it. If you're able to and you're comfortable doing so, providing a financial contribution, I greatly appreciate that as well. It is incredibly helpful. And again, so much gratitude for that. So I have a GoFundMe account. I will share a link somewhere around this video, wherever you found it. And if you want to go there or maybe you're finding this video there right now, if you're able to make a contribution, thank you. If you're willing and able to just cheer me on, I'm really very sincerely grateful for that as well. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to shannonelhart.com. Again, I'll put a link somewhere around this video. And you can always feel free to email me. I love hearing your comments, your feedback, your suggestions. If you have somewhere you'd like for me to come. Oh, in fact, um, anyone who donates 2,500 or more can tell me where you want me to go, anywhere in the United States. And it will be after September 2020, and I'll have to choose the time that I'll come, but I will come by and you can set up a week of engagements for me, places for me to speak and help me do that. Or if you want to send me somewhere specific, if there's an event for veterans or for people struggling with PTSD or a children's hospital, if you want to send me to a city where there's something like that, I'd be happy to do that as well. But again, if you have any questions or suggestions, email me at shannon@shannonelhart.com. I greatly appreciate you, and thank you for all of your support. I hope you have a really wonderful day.